Hi, I'm Susan Peterson, and you are listening to Started from the Bottom, an entrepreneur-focused podcast on getting started. Here you will find all the mindset tools and resources you need to just get started. Today, I'm talking with Ashley Reeves. I am so excited for this episode with Ashley. She is one of the OG influencers and is one of the kindest and most generous people I know. She truly lives with an abundance mindset and attitude, and to know her is to benefit from her network and friendship. This episode is full of so many gems, and I know that you are going to come away inspired and know exactly what you need to put into practice today. We are going to talk about her approach to building product, which I think is actually one of the smartest ways to get started in product business. We are also debating dairy and soda, and she shares some of the cool product that she has coming out. Here's Ashley. Ashley, welcome to my podcast.
Hi.
I'm so happy you're here.
I'm happier.
You are not.
I am.
How many podcasts have you done?
I don't know, a couple dozen or so.
Yeah.
But I always love it. I think it's fun.
Mm-hmm. It is fun.
Yeah.
I love, someone asked me why I wanted to start a podcast, and I said, oh, it's easy because I like to hear myself talk. I don't listen to myself.
Everyone wants to hear you too. So that's why we started it. People are like, give us more Susan.
We will see. You're so nice. Okay. I'm going to read your bio real quick.
Okay.
Ashley Reeves is a body positive mother, entrepreneur, and speaker who has spent the last decade building better body image through her online movement, Better Body Love. After a lifetime of battling negative body image and recently a life-threatening illness, Ashley has learned firsthand how letting go of self-criticism and embracing our bodies as a miraculous gift, despite their limitations, can bring more peace into her life, and now empowers others to do the same. Oh, that's so pretty.
I have not heard that in a while. Oh, that sounds nice.
Is it all still true?
Yeah.
This is what happens, actually. We'll read a bio and people are like, I haven't updated that in a minute.
Yeah, I was actually a little hesitant. I was like, what does it say?
What does it say?
Yeah, that's all pretty accurate.
Okay, so I just want to, you are an influencer, business owner, kind of a jack of all trades, honestly.
Yeah, I guess.
I think you were OG blogger.
Yeah, I've been blogging forever.
The thing that I really admire about you is you're always really quick to adopt new technologies.
Yeah.
TikTok came out, you were on it. Instagram came out, you're on it.
Mm-hmm.
You're just on them. But
it's fun for me. I love trying new things.
I know and I feel like you're always like, it's so easy. And the rest of us are like, what do we do? Do we have to dance? And you're like, it's fine.
It's fun. I promise you're going to love it.
Exactly. But how did you get started in influencing?
Since OG or I call myself a grandma blogger all the time too, but I don't know, when I started, influencing wasn't a thing. There wasn't even a word for it. I really just wanted to share. I think I felt super alone. I was the only person I knew with a baby. I didn't have any sisters or friends or anyone. And I was just home alone. And I don't even remember how I stumbled on blogs, but I found them and I thought it seemed kind of fun. And so it wasn't a thing, but over the years, I just really enjoyed creating content. I really liked the interaction online. I liked that it was a way to find people who were kind of going through the things that I was, because my immediate circles weren't people that I could really have those conversations with. And I really enjoyed it. So it was something I consistently did. I created content, and it wasn't until Instagram launched, and even a couple of years after Instagram launched, that I really kind of found the model of influencer, being able to work with companies and being able to build trust with an audience and just kind of developing that community.
Wow. When you say you didn't have any sisters or friends, you meant I didn't have any sisters or friends
with children.
Because Ashley has a lot of sisters.
I have so many sisters. And I'm blessed with a lot of friends too.
You have a lot of friends.
Yes, that's a good point to clarify. Yeah. I had a lot of people in my life, but none of them were in the same stage of life.
Yes.
And I think my whole life, I actually love my female friendships. And I think my whole life I'd always had all these things in common. And then all of a sudden there's this huge life change, and I was no longer able to talk to anyone about it. No one felt bad when I was complaining. No one really got it, and that's fine because they weren't in that stage. But I really did feel super depressed and alone, and blogs were the one place I found people that seemed to be sort of similar to where I was.
So you started with your oldest.
Yes.
So he just turned.
He's almost 15.
Oh my gosh. So you've been doing this 15
years. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Yeah. He was a little
about
tiny
the
baby.
same as me. Yeah.
And you know what I remember when I first got online? I remember seeing pictures of people smiling with babies and thinking they were faking it. Faker. I would like scroll faker. Like I didn't believe it. You could be happy with a kid because I was so like in such a bad place. And so that's when I actually like Nene Dialogues. Like she was the one that everyone loved. I started following her and I was like, oh, the beautiful spin she put on motherhood was really inspirational to me. And it really helped me kind of start shifting my perspective and stuff. So really grateful for her. I don't think she does a ton of blogging anymore, but she was like
Stephanie Nilsson.
Yeah. Stephanie Nilsson.
She's
OG.
incredible.
Yeah. She's amazing.
Okay. So then how did you get into product? I love how you approach product. And I know I've told you that before, but it's like, we'll talk about that in a minute, but like, how did you get into product?
So I've kind of experimented on and off with product over the years. Like I did a watermelon slicer once that was really fun. And I don't know, I just have done things here and there, but I think it started with, I have always liked numbers. They don't like scare me. I don't feel bad about them. So if something does really awesome, if I see there's a good response. To rewind just a little bit, I remember when I started working with a few companies, I would always ask them if it performed well. I like to know. And a lot of people, I'm surprised, don't like to know, or they want to like post and then not hear the results because they think it's like something with their ego or something. I don't know. But I really never cared. I was always interested. So when I would learn that things were doing well, I just kind of have slowly over the years kind of figured out what my audience wants, kind of like the Venn diagram style, what they want, what I want to share. And so I usually would start with a product that I thought was cool. I'd want to like innovate it and make it cooler and make it something that we could produce for people that they liked. And so it started with finding something that I knew people were semi-interested in, making it better. And then I love marketing and talking about stuff. I feel like it's easy to get hyped up about stuff like that. So that's kind of how it started. A lot of like audience feedback.
Right. I love, I think that's like, people are always like, what should I do? What product should I make? And I'm like, well, Ashley does this amazing. Find something you already like using. Yeah. But you're not obsessed with the function. Totally. The design.
There's some kind of tweak that needs to be changed.
Yes. Yeah. Change it and just see if that is a big enough difference that you could then make it your own.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah. And I've seen you do that over and over and over again. Plus you're so good at marketing and getting people hyped on like whatever it is you're selling that I think like you're one of the influencers that I've seen break out into product in a really cool way. Beyond merch and beyond just like, easy stuff. Yeah. Yeah. It's really cool.
Thank you. It's been fun.
You're good at it. What do you have? Speaking of, okay, so then we're going to jump ahead a little bit and then we'll go back. Right now you're running, is it Body Basics?
Body Love Basics.
Body Love Basics. Yeah. And what we have the robe.
So there's lots of different products that are basically like clothing that feels really good on your body. So there's robes, there's matching sets. We have some dresses and there's some like sweatshirts and sweaters and cardigans. But the kind of umbrella that I want everything to do is feel really good on your body. So just super comfy, casual, cozy type of stuff.
Yeah. And I love how you described it yesterday on your Instagram where you're like, this is for body fluid.
Yes.
Which I had never heard that term before. Did you invent it?
Size fluid. I think I did, which is crazy. Fluid. I want to be very careful. I actually even talked to my lawyer because it felt like a very normal term to me. Yeah. And basically, like I'd read this statistic a couple of years ago that the average woman's body changes 3 to 4 sizes a year just with like hormones and stress and aging. And we also have like periods and like pregnancy and nursing, all these bigger life events, sickness, all this stuff. And I was so validated when I read that because I just felt like my body was changing all the time. But I also felt the frustration that my clothes never fit. I felt like what fit me 3 months ago no longer fits. I'd either have to size up or size down. And it just felt frustrating. And so, I kind of had this term in my head, like, oh yeah, our bodies are fluid. They change a lot. That's kind of what they do. They adapt to what the needs are of our current stages of life. And so it felt like a normal term to me, but the more I started using it and people started asking what I meant by it, I Googled it. I was like, what is the exact definition? And it wasn't there. So I was like, So I've been using it more and I can't find, I really hope I
think you
didn't
did.
take it from anyone.
Did you
but
patent it?
I actually called Brittany, Brittany
Yeah.
Rattel, and I was like, what can you find on this? And she's working on it for me. Just like 2 weeks ago, I called her.
Shoot. Okay. Let me know when you get that, and then we won't launch this episode until after.
Well, even if you start the process on it, you can have a claim on it.
Okay. There we go.
Because so even if you did launch this, it would be fine because you have to have like digital proof that you were the first one to say it.
Yeah.
And I could like screenshot like a year ago talking about it on my Instagram. So
Yeah.
they could try, but
They could try.
They could try.
But so then your clothes are meant to be
size fluid,
fluid across a year.
Yeah. So anything that you buy, ideally you could go up or down a size in body type and still it would fit. And some pieces like the robe I think would literally fit you if you gained or lost 100 pounds.
And the robe is so flattering. Every
Thank
time I wear
you.
it, my man is.
I know. I don't know how to market that to people because yes, it's comfortable and it has amazing pockets, but everyone tells me it's like sexy time robe.
I do feel like you should use it, that pattern and make a dress.
Oh, I know. I totally want to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cause it's like a very flattering.
Yeah. It's very flattering.
Yeah.
And every time I put it on, I feel good. Even if even if I feel like, oh, I've gained a little bit of weight this week or whatever it is.
Yeah. It just always fits and feels good. So the idea would be that everything you feel comfy and confident no matter the size of your body.
Yes. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. Tell me about growing up. Oldest of how many kids?
7.
Yeah. And there's 6 girls.
There's 6 girls and 1 boy. I'm the oldest.
Okay.
Then my brother is 10 months younger than me.
Oh,
and
Mama
then
Rose.
Mama Rose. She was 7 kids in 8 years. I'm not joking. I was born 9 months and 1 day after my parents were married, like a total honeymoon baby.
Oh my gosh.
They just got married when they were older, and I think they wanted a lot of. My mom claims none of it was planned, but I don't think that is true. But
she
still has a bad attitude about all of it.
She's still mad.
She loves us. You're like, Mom, don't you love having 7 kids? She's like, I love all my grandkids.
Oh my gosh. She's still traumatized.
She's a little snarky.
She's dealing with her PTSD.
Yeah.
So do you feel like there were like moments or times in your childhood where like instances that you can think of that kind of led you to want to like break out on your own and be an entrepreneur?
Totally. My dad actually was an entrepreneur and both of my grandpas were. And so I think even from a young age, my dad was so awesome and always, he had me read like How to Win Friends and Influence People and like Rich Dad Poor Dad, all these books I was reading when I was like 13, just learning about like that mindset. And my dad was always really encouraging. I remember when I was 17 or 18, I went to a Mary Kay party and how you get sold on this stuff. And I came home and my dad supported it. He was like, sure, if you think you could do that, you totally should do it. Like, and my mom was like, what are you doing? But he was like, if you can sell well, you'll be really successful no matter what you do. And if that's going to help you learn. So I signed up as a Mary Kay consultant when I was like 18.
Yeah.
And I mean, I wasn't successful at it.
Did you get a pink car?
I never got a pink car.
You got a little bitter there, huh?
And never.
Let's just buy our own pink cars.
Oh my gosh.
Who needs Mary Kay?
I'm in the market for a car. I've been texting your car guy.
Oh, good.
Yeah, he's been helpful. Anyways, so I do think that like it was encouraged from when I was a young age that like sales was a good thing. And I don't know. And my dad, like he was growing his business at a time where we just don't have the resources. He did not have the resources that we have now. And so I love talking to him about it. I love talking to my grandpa who's still alive about it because it's really crazy what you can do now with the resources we have. You can almost do anything. And my dad ended up going back to like a corporate job when I was 20. But my whole childhood growing up, my dad was an entrepreneur. And I remember packing envelopes with him and like helping with so many different things, being a part of the process. And I really did love it. And then, I don't know, I just went through college. I got a degree in elementary education. And I remember sitting in the classroom and bless the souls who do that because it is hard work. But I really wanted, unlimited potential, whatever that looked like. But it took years of nothing, like there wasn't any money for a long time. I quit teaching to build something. I didn't even know what. But yeah, it just was something that was always in me. I never wanted to know what the outcome was going to be.
You want more.
I want more. Yeah.
Like Ariel.
Yeah.
What's the scrappiest thing you've ever done then?
Oh my gosh.
For your business?
Scrappiest thing I've ever done. That might take me a second to think about.
I've seen you like every time I've seen you ship before and been like, oh.
I totally have shipped things. I think that I remember one time when we were selling watermelon slicers, we like set up all the booths and did all that stuff. Honestly, I feel like the scrappiest thing I ever did was blankets at Swiss Days.
I know. I was
like
just thinking
2 months ago. But that was a good reminder of like that booth life is a hard life too.
What'd you say? You said, I'm too old for this.
I am too old for this. The people that were out there in the hot sun setting up massive booths and like you
to
just
set the
work
stage
for
a little
every
bit.
cell.
Swiss Days is something that happens every year in Utah, every August up in Midway. And people come from all over the nation to sell at Swiss Days.
Yeah.
Like I had a friend from Seattle that came down to do it. Like it's become like a huge like craft fair kind of thing. It's
huge
a
craft fair.
3-day.
Yeah.
And people just come by. It started, I don't know, like the 1980s.
Yeah,
or
it started a
something
long time ago.
insane.
Now it's like a cult thing.
Yeah. And people come from all over to sell. They come from all over to buy. If you're visiting Park City at that time, it's like the thing to do.
Yeah.
And Ashley and her friends, 6 of you guys, decided to sell these like vintage blankets they had gotten from a dealer from India.
We found this guy. He was awesome. And we all have experience selling things online. And it's kind of funny how your brain is a little broken once you do things online because numbers are different in person. Yeah. And so we're like, it would be so easy. Yeah. But, you know, selling 1,000 blankets in person is an incredible physical feat. And selling 1,000 anything online, it just doesn't feel like that.
Right. Well, because online, I talk about this all the time in my mastermind. There's like 3 things you can like, 3 levers to pull. Yeah. And those are easy. It's traffic, conversion rate, and AOV. Yep. So like if you want a 2% conversion, you just need to get enough traffic there for 2% of those people to buy a blanket. Yep. So.
And get them there in person. And it is like.
It's a lot of people.
So much work. The people who do that, like I really was so in awe of people who do, because there's people that is how they run their business. They do the setup and whatnot. But you know what I was thinking is scrappy too. I remember when I very first started, because I was a food blogger for a while and I didn't know how to get people to notice my social media. I think that's one thing that is cool that people our age have done, that these new people coming up and doing social media have like the benefit, I think, of like walking into, is we really did kind of build the model. You built the model for like influencer relationships with Freshly Picked.
Yeah, Freshly Picked was built off of influencers.
Yeah, and you
off the backs and sweat and sweat of influencers.
It's like those relationships, but that model didn't exist before. We didn't know it.
No, and we also have the benefit of living in Utah.
Totally.
Which if you aren't really in Utah here and you're listening, we have so many influencers here. I swear we incubate them.
We do.
Like there's some factory in Saratoga. Every week they pop out 12 new ones. Just like in your kindergarten class when you incubate eggs and chickens would be born in the spring.
There you go. They're born. There's a new fresh one.
Literally every week there's 12 new influencers. Yeah. They pop out with their Stanley cups and their Lulu sets and a baby.
When we started, like it didn't exist. The business model wasn't there. So like how to pay, what was the standard, what was a good return? Like we didn't know any of it. And I feel like it's taken years to kind of build that out, where I do feel like when you talk about being scrappy, the beginning was convincing people I was worth paying.
Right.
Like convincing people, you do want to pay me. I can get people to come over to you. There wasn't tracking links. There wasn't codes. Like at the very beginning, there was no way to really track. And so building that business model, people can walk into it now and it makes sense. And your energy is now spent on building the relationship and doing the sales and going through the whole collaboration process. Whereas before, I felt like so much energy was spent convincing people, I promise you want to work with me. I promise I can do this for you, and having them trust you. And that I feel like was scrappy at the beginning. There was so much time. I would walk through the grocery store and I would pull boxes of food and I would go home and look up their websites and try to find PR contacts. I literally would do this and I would try to find emailing people and be like, I want to take pictures of like your pasta. And like, I feel like I can create good pictures and you want to be on social media. And you might have to cut this part out later, but even the Whole30 diet, I used to share a lot about the Whole30 diet when I first got on. So whatever you want to say or not want to say, a popular diet at the time. When I got on Instagram and I started sharing about it, they didn't have an Instagram page. They didn't have any forward-facing stuff, but I noticed, I think they had like 80 people that had used the hashtag. And I was like, everyone at my church and in my neighborhood is talking about this. Why don't they have an Instagram page? So I I ended up reaching out to them and talking to them and getting them involved. Like I was getting called for news media interviews about Whole30, not the creators. And so I got on the phone with the creators of Whole30 and was like, you should actually be involved. And we went on Good Morning America and did that kind of stuff with them. But like, it was being scrappy is like convincing people, yes, you should be on social media. Yes, you should build an audience this way. Yes, you should create content. Yeah. So I feel like that kind of scrappiness at the beginning, like convincing people it was even like legitimate.
I think it's a lifestyle, not a diet though.
Yes.
So the lifestyle Whole30.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Just to clarify.
Yes. To clarify. Yeah. That's a good one.
Okay. Yeah, I think so too, because I look back at my scrappy days and there's like days where you're shipping or days where you're like feeling like, is this what the boss does? Because if this is what the boss does, I don't know if I want to be the boss. But it is more of like, okay, wait, I was one of the first baby brands that got on Instagram.
Yeah.
And you can see it. We're almost at 1 million followers.
Yeah.
And just to build a community through social media was kind of not heard of.
No, you were the first.
Right. So I agree with that. Like, let's get scrappy around, like, let's build a whole industry that didn't exist before.
And it is kind of crazy. Like when you think about how it is the most successful form of like marketing now, it's incredible to be able to have that. And it didn't even exist 10 years ago.
Yeah. And I think in the future, you look at it, it's just going to be such a huge part of everyone's marketing.
Yeah.
Like activation plans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember I went and saw you speak once a long time ago. I think it was like at Pinner's conference or something. It was before we were friends. And I remember you said something, you were like, I would just lay in bed every night and like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pictures and all this stuff. Like you were scrappy too with Instagram back in the day, like getting people over to your page and like, I remember you talking about you would just like lay in bed for hours. You said you were married to Instagram. I remember that.
Yeah, Christian told me one day he wished that I loved him as much as I loved Instagram. And I said, me too. That'd be fun.
Wouldn't it be nice?
But I remember, and I've talked about this on millions of podcasts, but I remember I was watching one of my friends breastfeed and look at Instagram at the same time.
Yeah.
And at the time Instagram came out, it was the only platform that lent itself to a one finger scroll. So you could hold your phone in your hand and with your thumb.
Gosh, yeah.
And like Pinterest, Facebook, Twitter, everything else, you had to use both of your hands for it. And I remember just a light bulb going off and going, oh, moms are going to be on Instagram because they need their other hand to do something else.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
And so I just like, forget about Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest. We're going all in on Instagram.
Yeah.
Now every app is a one finger scroll.
Yeah.
I think moms are on TikTok now.
They're on the TikTok.
They're on the top. Okay. What is one lesson that you learned early on in your career that is still true today?
I really think relationships matter. And I think when you talk about Utah specifically, and I do see this being modeled and built out in other cities too. I was talking to my friend who lives in Dallas just this morning, Jenna Wood. Mm-hmm. She's so sweet.
Oh,
so she's talking about the community she's building in Dallas. I know there's other cities where it's building up more too, but I think relationships are what makes the ecosystem of Utah really cool. Like the business influencer relationship, I feel like because we all kind of work together in different ways, those relationships are so strong. And I feel like that's been over the years, that's been one of my favorite parts. My closest friends I've all met in my like adulthood. My closest friends have all come through collaborations and these kind of things that have brought us all together. And it's cool to see. Did you see Chelsea Christensen? I don't know if you know Chelsea Christensen.
Yeah, I follow her. She
posted the other day that she was like, it's so fun to think about like the Blogspot days. And when I saw my friends and all their little babies and now seeing them all grown up with all these teenagers and having all this cool success, and success looks different for everyone. You know, a lot of people I followed on Blogspot aren't doing businesses now or whatnot, but it is kind of cool. These relationships, they're like over a decade strong and all the things we've all been through together. It's just kind of awesome. So the relationships are honestly what I think is like the key. Yeah. Really good relationships, really a lot of respect, a lot of like good communication. Like there's things I've had to work through with a ton of people in this, I keep calling it an ecosystem. That really is kind of what it is. We all like feed off of each other and like help each other.
In a macroeconomics world.
Macroeconomics world. But I think the relationships are one of the coolest parts.
You know what I really admire about you is how you are so welcoming to new people.
Oh, that's nice.
And I feel like you do this every time. Like you know, all the TikTok girlies that are out
Love
there.
them.
We love them. They're
Yeah.
so fun. You knew all the Instagram girlies. You have friends all over the nation that you've met from doing what you do. And there's never, well, I think you have it on your bio. You're always like, you can sit with me.
Yeah.
And you embody that so well. And so I have seen you build those relationships and maintain
Thank
them.
you.
I
Yeah.
mean, I think Ashley's tagline should be every friendship is just one swig drink drop off away. Like you are
so good.
You are always down.
Oh my
You
gosh.
win friends one swig drink at a time.
Oh my gosh. How to win friends and influence people in
Swig
2022. Swig drinks.
Well, because I remember you, the Birds Papaya girl, her name, what is, I know it's funny, huh? Right. As soon
Sarah.
As Sarah, as
Yeah.
soon as you need it, it's not
I
there.
know. Yeah.
It's like every time I go to introduce someone, I'm like, crap, I don't know. And I saw she came in town for a conference.
Yeah.
What conference was it? Do you know?
Was at, it was like,
The influencer.
it was the influencer conference. I
Yeah.
think it was like Indie Blue did it or something.
Yeah, or led it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I saw on your Instagram you took her to Swig.
Yeah. She was in Utah and she's like, what do we do? I'm like, I mean, she had heard, she's like, what is this swig thing? She's from Canada.
Yeah.
And so she was just like in complete awe of the lines and lines of cars and the massive styrofoam cups. She couldn't get over the styrofoam. It was so funny.
If you're, again, not in Utah or even Arizona or Idaho, Swig is a drive-through soda shop. And we don't put alcohol in it.
No.
It's literally just soda.
Literally just soda and cream and
I've
syrups.
never done cream in my
You've
cup.
never done coconut cream?
No, I can't get past it.
You have to try it.
Here's where it goes is Ashley, you are so good at convincing people that I will actually try it. I might throw up. I cannot get past.
Do you get Diet Coke as your base of a
No,
drink?
I never do syrups even.
You just do straight.
What
What do you have?
I'll do soda water. You've gotten soda water
know,
from
that's
me
boring.
before. Or I will do Diet Dr. Pepper. That's it.
Okay, so even a Diet Dr. Pepper would be amplified with the coconut cream.
I can't do it.
You have. Do you like a root beer float?
Yeah, but there's a time and a place.
It's like that, but better.
Like once every 5 years, I'll do a root beer float.
Okay, next time we hang out, I'm making you get it with coconut cream.
You guys, I'm scared. I already can feel my stomach like curdling at that
No,
thought.
it's just a little bit. It's not like scoops. It's not
Hold
like half a
on.
gallon of ice cream.
There's 3 of us in here. So Abby, I'm going to ask you and then you're going to, do you do coconut cream in your swig drinks? Abby says
Never.
no. So that's 2 out of 3. She's tried it. She feels grossed out by it.
It's like a coffee creamer.
But it's in soda. It's coffee
You
creamer in
guys.
soda. There's such a difference.
What if you did half and half? Because sometimes I'll do half and half and sugar-free coconut. It's like
half and
healthier?
half is worse? I just feel like there's no part of outside of a root beer float, which I'm just going to say is totally different. I don't think you can compare the two because it's more like ice cream with the side of root beer.
Okay.
Outside of a root beer float, I do not think that
A cream soda at
I
like
don't
an Italian restaurant?
believe that dairy and soda should mix.
Have you ever gotten a cream soda at an Italian restaurant?
Yeah, but that's different.
No, it's not. It's the exact same thing.
Not since I had the digestion, the stomach walls of an 11-year-old have I done that. I'm 44 this month.
I'm still making you do it.
Okay, I'll do it, but if I spend the rest of the day on the toilet. Okay. What from that lesson, relationships,
Okay.
what is some advice you would give young Ashley, your sisters, or someone who's starting out?
I do think like mutual respect for sure. So because, and this is kind of interesting also in this ecosystem.
I keep
Plan
going.
to use
We're
this
just
word.
going it.
I don't know.
See if it's available. You can trademark
heard
it.
No, because of like the delicate workings of all these relationships, I do feel like over the years, as at first there was a lot of boundaries, like I do this, you do that, and we don't do any crossover, right? But as we've all grown our businesses, we have employees, we have teams, we have bigger things going on than like just our own needs. Naturally, as businesses grow, you do kind of start to overlap. And I used to have so much like panic if like 2 of my friends did products that were competing in any way, because I was like, I have to choose a side. Like you get all dramatic about it. It feels like a big deal. But in reality, there's just like a respect for what we're all doing. There's enough for everyone. And I feel like we all do. You could even have two people doing the exact same product, but they do it differently. And they bring their own special sauce to the table with how they market it, the kind of the spin they put on it. But it all comes down to respect. Like we have to respect that people are doing the best they can. They all have to, if we're all like walking on eggshells around each other, we're all kind of losing. And so it's respecting people and understanding that we have bigger things to grow and we don't need to be catty about stuff like that. And I think that's been a really fun lesson for me to learn in my own. One of the reasons I didn't start for so long is I felt like it was too close to people I knew who were doing things. I'm like, well, so-and-so owns a clothing company or so-and-so does comfy clothes, but that's so untrue. Like there's a different way. We all bring our own mix to whatever we do. And it really did hold me back for a while, but I'm like, no, I respect these people, respect me. I know I respect them and we can do it differently.
Right. And then when you just kind of cross over into that, like you cross that barrier, you're like, what was I worried about?
What was I so worried about? Yeah.
I think I love the way those two go hand in hand. So like build relationships, pay attention to relationships. But then look, Jen Atkins says this, collaboration over competition.
Yes, I love that.
I love it.
And how much it's cool also, like even this year, there's two people specifically that I maybe even like 3 or 4 years ago would have felt like were competitors of mine that I have loved building stronger relationships with. And we talk to each other and we share information all the time and we're helping each other. And I believe we're both benefiting from those interactions.
Yes.
And it's kind of funny because for a while I was like, wait, I can't talk to them or because they do this or I do this or whatever, but it's just not true. And I feel like that's one kind of funny thing about women and men is men really wouldn't probably think twice about it. And
yeah,
I feel like women sometimes we
get in our feelings about it,
which is our power.
Yes.
And also sometimes to our own demise.
I think, I've talked to actually a couple people about this, and I think there's a scarcity mentality sometimes around women in business because there was legitimately scarcity for women in business like 30, 40 years ago.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And so I think that that's kind of been passed down, but I really feel like this younger generation coming up and our generation that we're definitely seeing like, oh, that's not the case. Where for men in business, the scarcity's never been there.
Yeah.
And so I think that almost gets passed down in a way that maybe feels unhealthy.
Like that, but that's totally true. Yeah.
But I think like when you really get down to it and the people who have longevity they definitely have like a more generous attitude and like there's enough for everyone. The pie's big enough. Like, let's just make room at the table, that kind of thing. I mean, as many of those as you want to throw out there. But it's like more of abundance mindset.
Yes.
And I think even I look at the women who really slogged it out in those early years, like in the 60s, 70s, 80s. Like my grandmothers were both working moms.
Yeah.
And I'm just so grateful for the stuff that they had to go through and the fact that they stayed there.
Totally. Yeah.
Because
it's really remarkable. Yeah.
Right. And then I think there's some scar tissue left over that sometimes gets passed down.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times, this is totally off track, but have you heard like some woman slept her way to the top?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't think it's as easy as that.
If only it were.
Sometimes girls don't even get dinner for sleeping around.
Yeah.
So like, I don't think you can sleep your way to the top.
Oh my gosh.
So there's been like this competitiveness around women in business because there's only been 1 or 2 seats at the table.
Yeah.
And so that cattiness, that competitiveness, I hope that we're just totally backing off it.
And I feel that even just like in our industries, I feel like it already feels better in the last few years.
Yeah.
And it's just a learning process, right? Like
and it starts with you. Like if you have that abundance mindset, you're going to surround yourself with people that have an abundance mindset. And when I run into it, I'm always like, oh, that's interesting. I wonder what has happened in this person's life that they feel protective and scarce around this, you know?
Yeah.
And just try to be really like mindful of that as I run into it. Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay. You have had some incredibly freaky health challenges.
Yeah.
Literally like last week, Ashley texted this group chat that we're in and she's like, you ran into a pole and you had to get stitches.
I did staples in my head.
It's not funny.
Have you ever had staples in your head?
Yeah, but not since I was like under 10.
I know. I like couldn't believe it. I couldn't stop laughing. I'm 6 feet tall for anyone listening. I'm very tall. And I was leaving a baby shower and everyone else was just leaving under the door normal because they're all normal height people. I was looking down at my phone and I just walked right into the door frame, the big pole over the top. And I gouged my head open and head wounds bleed so much. And at first when I hit my head, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad no one saw that because it was so embarrassing. And then I like look up and the blood, it was just bad. But I couldn't stop laughing because I thought it was so funny. My friends were all like, she's in shock. Get her sit down. I was like, no, you guys, this is hysterical. Everyone else cleared that. No problem. But like Sasquatch over here, like can't make it through a door frame, knocking my head off.
I think it's not funny, but you've had some crazy stuff and your family too. You guys just like,
we like live at the hospital. I don't know what's wrong with us.
You do. I think it's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because you had meningitis.
I had meningitis.
You had a supposed blood clot.
I was diagnosed with a blood clot for 9 months that I likely never had, but it's hard to, I might've had it at the beginning.
Did they not test your blood? Do you have factor 5?
I would go. So what I had a stroke that took me to the ER. And I'd had headaches that they decided was meningitis, and that set off, they believe it was from shingles. And then they gave me an IV that they think caused the blood clot initially, that I had to have like a port put in for the meningitis. And then when they took that out, they thought I had a blood clot. And so they treated me for it. I was getting scanned every 9 months and they said I still had it, but then it ended up that it was probably a muscle tendon that was being scanned wrong.
Like an extra one.
An extra tendon, which I honestly think is from my phone use. I think I've grown extra tendons right here. I do. I'm like, I think this is like a medical thing we're going to see in more people.
Okay.
But it was being read as blood clot. So yeah, it's been like a wild couple of years for sure.
But you're here. You're so lucky.
Here. And I'm grateful for it. Like I feel like it really zapped my life and how I spend my time into perspective, and it shifted a lot of things for me, like personally and professionally, and it was a really good thing. But yeah, it was really sucky to go through, but it was a blessing.
What's like 2 things that you feel like you've come out of it with, or even just one? Sorry,
I think
whatever you want, you tell me.
I think I really was running a million miles an hour when I got sick. Like I never said no to anything. I took every opportunity, and it was all good things. And so I felt like it was what I should be doing. But I also think because of the relationships I've built and the people pleasing tendencies, I would never say no to anyone. And what happened when I got sick is it actually kind of said no for me. And that ended up being a huge blessing. I didn't realize it shut down so many things and projects and tabs I had open just naturally. And I didn't have to be the one to say no. And once everything shut down, I kind of was like, oh my gosh, no wonder I got sick. Like, how could a person's body keep up with this life? And so I kind of felt like it was this like divine thing that like it shut so many things down for me. And then when I did start feeling better, it took me about 6 months to feel better. I got to choose what I picked back up. And I have been super intentional ever since then about what I pick up, who I spend my time with. Like it's been really, really a positive thing for me. I have like a hard stop of all the things that were pulling me in a million different directions and just focusing better, like professionally and personally and everywhere.
I had to take 6 months off last year too.
Yeah.
And I came out with the same thing.
Yeah.
Like someone yesterday was like, do you want to go to a cooking class in December? And I'm like, I don't leave my house after 5 p.m. in November and December. That's like my new hard stop.
Yeah.
Unless it's like something
really big is
our freshly picked Christmas party, totally. Or I have an influencer event or something. But it's kind of mean, but it's just like I definitely need my alone time. And
you absolutely need to.
Yeah. I feel like do you feel this way? Like my capacity's back up where I could fill my life again, but I just have no desire to be back to where I was.
No, because you see like the result, you see like what that does to you. Like it makes you have complete mental breakdowns. It causes stress on our bodies. And when you kind of start seeing the difference, you really do though. And I think in the way our lives are, you have to intentionally carve out that time. You have to protect it. You have to say, no, I'm going to take a day to just lay in bed, and you just have to call it.
Yeah. I intentionally rest now. Yeah. It's like a big thing for me.
Yeah. I love you were Marco pulling me this week still in your bed at like 11 o'clock. I'm like,
Listen.
Go girl. No, it's good. I was like, I'm so proud of you.
I talked to someone about this, Lisa Valentine Clark. I love my bed. It is a sacred place for me,
Yeah.
but
And
also
your fancy sheets.
oh, I love my sheets. Also I feel like, you have to, whatever, some people need alone time to reset. And I'm actually one of those people.
Yeah.
I require a ton of alone time.
Yeah.
And I can go out and be outgoing and do, we partied the night away on Wednesday. We danced until 9 p.m.
Yeah. We were crazy.
And then I was home.
I left and I was like, it's only 9:05.
Yes.
I feel like it's like midnight.
I was home in bed, face washed, teeth brushed, jammies on, Skims on at 10:30.
We're like, that's the dream. That's the dream.
So it's just like good boundaries.
Yeah,
now.
totally.
Yeah.
I love that.
Okay. What legacy are you trying to build?
I don't know. Probably just like feeling and making peace in your life.
Oh, I love that.
I think like I would love kind of what we were just saying, but I think it is the most important thing and it's very overlooked. Like you want peace, you want calm, and that looks so different for every person. But that's something that I like go back to a lot is like, okay, what's going to bring me more peace at the end of the day when I'm making my decisions and deciding how I run my day, like what's going to bring me the most peace. And it can be different every day. Sometimes peace is getting my entire house clean because all the organizing stuff needs to be done or my brain's going to lose it. And sometimes peace is like getting in my car and driving around for 2 hours, like, and not talking to anyone. You know what I mean? So it looks different every day, but I do think that that's really important is to kind of figure out what makes you have that feeling and making sure you prioritize it.
Would you say you're a peace chaser?
Peace chaser.
Peace chaser.
Peace chaser.
I love it.
Should I call my lawyer?
Look at all the things. Get my attorney on the phone because we have a couple things in here I need to trademark.
We'll see who can call ours first.
Yours is scared of mine. Maybe. I don't know. We'll ask Brittany, are you scared of Travis? She'll probably say yes. A lot of people are. Okay. Now we're going to come into some fun questions. And you asked me, why do I have to answer this question when I saw you? But you're going to have to.
Okay.
Who's your favorite child?
Mabel. She's the nicest to me.
And she's your only girl.
She's my only girl and she's my baby. And she is just like, she's the best. And she's the baby I honestly never thought I would have. I really, really, truly believed I was a mom of boys. From when I was 12 years old, I knew I was having 4 boys. Isn't that funny?
That's wild.
And then everything in my life confirmed it when I had 3 boys and I knew that last one was a 4th boy. I just really had made peace a long time ago with I'm a boy mom. And I think I like completely shut it off in my brain emotionally too. I was like, oh, I'll never have that.
Did you
daughter.
find out when you were pregnant or did you? Oh, okay.
I did find out.
Did you believe it?
No. I'd gotten a blood test and when they called, so it was early, like 10 or 11 weeks. And when they called and said she was a girl, Justin was like, oh my gosh, that's so exciting. And I was like, did you get the right test?
They got it wrong.
And I was like, did you mix it up? And they were like, no, like you can't really mix this up. And I was like, I mean, and then I was like, how accurate is blood anyways? They were like, I mean, it's DNA. I was like, I'll trust it when she's born. Like, I like could not believe it, but she's, oh my gosh, she's the best. And, I believe we all get the kids we get too. And if there's people out there who never have daughters or I also know like there's people who have all girls, like it all works out as it's supposed to, but she is the little girl I just never knew how much I needed and I freaking love her. She's the best.
You're such a good mom.
She's a big Freshly Picked fan too.
Oh, I love
She has like
Mabel.
her collection of all of her little I should show you some pictures. She loves all of her little slings. She steals mine all the time.
She's the best. That's the thing with the daughter is now your closet is not your own anymore.
Oh no, I know, it's crazy.
Yeah.
She takes she's wearing a shirt of mine to school today. She's like, I don't have anything orange. I'm like, that's huge on you, but okay.
Whatever. I'll do it. And like everything becomes, I'm like, yeah, you can take that. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like I don't care about anything when it comes to my kids. It's
yeah.
like, but your boys are your favorites too. You really love them all.
They just have a different vibe about them. I don't know. The boys are so sweet to me. They're so good to me. Like they are really, really good boys. And it's so fun with the 2 older ones. Like they're like heading into teenage life now. And I love hanging out with them. I love like teasing them. I love like sending them stupid memes. Like, I don't know. They're totally fun too.
Teenagers are my favorite.
Yeah.
They're so fun. Okay. Beach or mountains?
Mountains for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. I like a beach vibe, but I just feel more at home in the mountains. Like when I go pick out like home decor, like none of like the beachy seashell type thing speaks to me, but I really like greens and
like
mountains.
a seashell frame doesn't do it for you. I don't know if it does it for anyone.
No. Some people do. There's so much home decor that is
There
beachy.
is cute stuff.
And I'm always shocked, but I'm like, I think if you had a nostalgic feeling around beaches, but I don't know. I'm just a mountain girl. I really don't like camping, but I like, going on a hike. I like being close to the mountains. I love a good mountain drive.
Okay. You don't like camping, but you go camping every year.
I do. I don't like it, but I go.
I
for the sake of my
refuse
marriage.
to camp. Well,
but it probably doesn't matter to Christian like it matters to Justin.
Yeah.
He does, like, Justin asks for so little.
Yeah.
Like, he's just so wonderful. And like once a year, he just wants me to go on this camping trip with him because he's been going his entire life. And I'm like,
fine.
and I usually don't complain until the third day. And then I'm a total rage.
Then you're over it.
When I'm covered in hundreds of mosquito bites, like, this is so stupid. Why do we do this every year? But, I think it's good for us.
I lived in a tent when I was 20.
What?
22. Yeah. One summer, a whole summer in Colorado.
did?
I lived in a tent.
By yourself?
No, with friends and like a little tent community.
Oh my gosh.
And I just feel like I've been there, done that. Like, I feel like I never have to camp again.
Absolutely not.
You get like 30 days in a row, you're set.
Yeah, you are set. You've had all the experiences you need to with the tent.
Yeah. So
you're set. No more.
I won't do it anymore.
Yeah.
I don't love it. I love a campfire.
Campfires are fun.
I love being
and
outside.
then I want to drive home afterward and go to my bed.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. What is your most embarrassing moment?
Oh my gosh, I have so many. I should have thought, why can't I even, I'm a walking embarrassment. I feel like I do things all the time.
The pole.
The pole was so embarrassing. I do remember one time, like out of a movie when I was 18, I was wearing a dress and I was in an auditorium for something for school and someone said, come sit over here. And because I'm so tall, I don't walk around things. I always just step over. And so instead of walking around the auditorium, I just stepped over the chair and my foot went in. You know how the seats like fold up? My foot went in. I went slamming forward, hit my face. The back of my dress split wide open. Like in high school, like where you don't laugh it off. You're like, this is the worst thing that's ever happened to me. And everyone saw it. Why couldn't I just walk around? But like, I'm just so tall. I just don't. I just walk over things.
How do you recover from a split back dress?
I mean, I think I'm still not recovered. That was a hard one. I called my mom. I need a new dress.
Oh, I love it.
It was super fun.
And in high school, it's just like you die if you have a booger. Like,
oh my gosh, everything
visible.
is so embarrassing.
Yes.
Like now I would laugh. I would laugh so hard, but
we'd have fun with that.
Oh, it was so bad back then, but yeah.
Okay, love it. Mine is maybe when I went viral on TikTok for yelling at teenagers in Target.
Susan Peterson, the bully.
I know. Who would have known? I'm a secret bully. I actually am. Don't mess with me. What's your favorite way to unwind?
Oh my gosh. I think it's the Kardashians.
Oh, we love the Kardashians.
We love the Kardashians so much.
Okay, I didn't watch. I like to have 2 or 3 to go.
Yes, I haven't watched. I'm up to the last one that aired. Was it yesterday or the night before?
I didn't watch that one.
Yeah, I haven't watched that one yet. But
or the week before.
Nothing makes me more like I love sitting in my bed. I love having the Kardashians on, and there's something just very relaxing about it. And maybe it's like that. I don't know if there's a show I've watched longer than that. I don't think there's ever been a show that I've had that many seasons of commitment to.
You and I are both Kardashian apologists.
Yes, we are.
We love the Kardashians.
Love
and
them.
I don't feel like you should have to apologize for it anymore, but there's still people who are, it's like, you don't like the Kardashians, grow up.
Yeah.
They've impacted your whole life.
Yeah.
Everything you do.
If I have one more person be like, they're just famous because of a sex tape. I'm like, no.
Have you ever tried to start a company?
Right?
Like what Kim has done with Skims is mind blowing.
It's insane. And
she had money to start.
She did have money. We can acknowledge she had privilege, but there's a lot of privileged kids out there who don't start multi-billion-dollar corporations.
Right. But the product is so good.
It's so good.
Yeah.
And she really also is kind of the OG influencer. When you think about like someone who people were literally just following because of their life, because she wasn't a singer. Like 10 years ago, it was who's a singer, who's an actress. That's what makes you famous. And then they made fun of Kardashians. They're not famous for anything. I'm like, no, it's actually 10 times more intriguing to be a person instead of a role you play or a song you write about a story you may or may not have even experienced, to be an actual person and people are interested in your life. Then you've created products that people know you care about. And it's it's the smartest move ever. And I love watching people. Did you see her interview with Dave Letterman?
Yes.
I love watching people be humbled like that, where he's kind of snarky about it. And then she was like, well, yeah, we used to have to go on she called it like little late night shows. So you could get like 10 million people. She's like, but I have 200 million people watch my Instagram every day. And you could see his face just like he's automatically irrelevant. They don't need him.
Right.
They don't need his show.
Right. And I think people will say, oh, well, she had a sex tape and she did it on purpose. Listen, I don't care.
Doesn't matter. It worked.
I don't care. It worked.
Yeah.
And also she is the embodiment of you cannot sleep your way to the top, because there's been so many people that have had sex tapes that have then become irrelevant.
Yes, totally.
And it was this opportunity that if they saw it and they seized it, then they built on it in a way that really no one else has been able to.
Yeah.
Even Paris Hilton, like hers, she pops in and out of relevancy, but the Kardashians are always relevant.
Yeah. Yeah.
We could do a whole episode.
We could do a whole in defense of the Kardashians episode.
We get Tristan on here.
Oh my gosh, please, can we?
Yeah, we'll do a 3-person.
Okay, we'll do it.
It'll be fun.
Yeah.
Well, actually, let us know if you want us to do that, because that might also just be something that we think is
we
interesting.
enjoy.
And we do it all the time anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, who is your dream collaborator?
Do you know who I got an email from this morning?
Who?
Diet Coke. Isn't that crazy?
Stop, Ashley.
I literally was like,
did it feel fake?
It felt fake. But I got an email from Diet Coke. I really think that would have been, you know, the commercial where Diet Coke, where there's like Starry-eyed surprise, and she's like skating around on roller skates. I've always said that was like the funnest ad I've ever seen.
Okay.
Anyways, but I was really fortunate this year. My dream collaboration for years has been Amazon, and I actually got that one. And I've been working with Amazon all year now. And so is that
so
terrible?
what does Diet Coke want to do?
I don't know. They just said, what is her relationship with Diet Coke? I'm actually offended they even had to ask if they follow me.
Married to Diet Coke.
And they said, would she be interested in a collaboration? And so I said immediately yes. I don't want to look too eager, but actually, I don't want them to even for a second think I'm not interested. So I responded immediately.
So we'll see.
Have
you seen that TikTok about the Diet Coke girlies? Where some guys like, if the Diet Coke girlies and like the 400, I don't even remember. Is it like the scariest fighters in the world? Or like, he's like, my money's on the Diet Coke girlies.
You better send it to me. I haven't seen that
and
one.
It's like so true, because if you're powered by Diet Coke, you're getting a lot done.
You do. There's something about it.
And we love Tinks. Remember, she has like her Diet Coke rankings.
Yes. Well, people can knock it all they want, but like, because I know they're like, oh, it's like so basic. But I'm like, there's
at the
power.
end of the day,
there's some kind of power.
Caloric-free caffeine.
Yeah.
You tell me where you're going to get that outside of cocaine, please.
Really, though?
Except for Ashley puts cream in it. Gross.
Gross.
Okay. This is a truth or truth.
Okay.
So I have 3 categories.
Okay.
You pick one.
I've forgotten these questions.
And then I'm going to ask
you,
okay? Girl boss, gatekeep, or gaslight. You got to pick one of those categories, and then I'll ask you a question off of what you pick. And I might be mean, or I might be nice. Gatekeep, gaslight.
Oh my gosh. Gatekeep?
Oh, is this our first gatekeeping? Second.
I have no idea where
I feel
you're going
like
with
Clint
this.
Betts picked gatekeeping.
Okay.
What is a product that you've gate kept? You have to tell us what it is.
Okay,
You're actually
okay.
you don't gatekeep a lot of stuff.
I don't. I'm trying to think like what I have. Okay. Hold on.
Is it your new product? When does it come out?
I have so many new ones coming out. Oh, the heated hot and heavy heat pad.
Hot and heavy.
That's not gatekeeping though, because I've put it out there.
Yeah, it's true.
I think that I am.
You have to now.
I am like really highly considering. Okay, so we're doing body love. We're doing clothing. I also started doing some anxiety tools like ice rollers, a heat pad, a footed blanket that's super cute. I am actually really thinking about doing some kind of skincare. Some kind of like skincare body lotion. I have a really cool factory that does some awesome stuff that I have a meeting with.
I think you should do body care. I've been trying to get someone to do this forever. I have so many ideas for you.
Okay, well, let's chat.
Yes.
Because I think it would be fun, but I can't do that. Is a huge other market, but like.
Can I invest?
Sure.
Okay.
You know Travis. Let's get everyone on the phone.
Okay, Trav. I love.
But like
Travis.
we've talked about it, but I've gone back and forth because once again, I know a lot of people that do it. But I
body
do think
care actually, there's not a lot. Necessaire is kind of it. Who's doing it in like a comprehensive way.
What I specifically want to do that I think would be cool is have a tanning lotion or cream with SPF in it. So you have like an SPF and a really good bronzing because they don't combine them. I can't find anywhere where they do it. And if you could do it with some natural ingredients, because a lot of stuff is super chemically, but they're coming out with some cool things.
I think SPF, it has to be FDA regulated. That's why it has to have chemicals in it.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to figure this out.
Okay.
Ashley, I'm going to invest. She's going to let me invest. No more gatekeeping. Ashley, thank you so much for coming on my podcast.
I love you so much.
I love you. You're always a delight. Always.
As are you.
Thank you.